Beep boop. Beep boop. Has the boop been beeped? Alright, I'll wait for the beep boop before I continue talking about boops and beeps. Beep boop. Beep boop. Okay, has the boop been beeped? We're good. How's everybody? I'm just trying to get some shit together. I have a million messages. Hey, friends. So today's event is cool. It's cool. It's hosted by Rainy Frog over at VOD. Though it does bring with it some technical challenges that we are going to overcome. Greetings from Norway. Hey, Lil Trill. How you doing? How you doing? Krell's here. So, on your screen right now, if I go back to the Foes Are Friends tab, alright, you can see in the very bottom left, behind Vegeta's ass, you can see 6 names. You see Raced, Sippa, Bjorn, Longest Boy, Segos, and Normal Swap. Okay? That's the bracket. Now, these guys were casting replays today because of the nature of the tournament. I'll get to that. But these guys are already about 2/3 of the way through the tournament. So, to show you the bracket at all would show you so many spoilers that thing down there, that is that, and Vegeta's glorious ass is covering results. And there's a loser's bracket. So if I pull it up, that's why it's so far down. If I pull it up, you'll see the start of the loser's bracket, and you could also know who who lost. So we're getting there. We're getting through it. Now, what is the nature of today's tournament? Why are we doing replays? It is Rainy Frog's idea of foes become friends. So let's just go with the example on the blocker. If you're the High Elves and you're fighting the Beastmen, whoever wins that first game, let's say the Beastmen win, the next person they fight, it's all best of one. The next person they fight, they have to pick High Elves, and they have to take the build that the High Elves were, that lost to them, right? So if you beat the High Elves, next game you're taking what the High Elves took versus you, and you're going to try to make it work. And let's say you're fighting Chaos or something, right? If you beat Chaos, in the next game you're taking Chaos, and you're taking the army that you just beat. So you keep going forward that way. Now, that sounds a little complicated. It is a lot of admin work that Frog's doing. So we put the stream, this started an hour ago, we put the stream at an hour delay so that the first couple rounds could get their shit together and get it all figured out. And we're just casting the replays. Going forward, we'll catch up to them. All right. I have a whole bunch of messages. Now, it is tricky, and I should talk to Frog about in the future, is that everybody's sending me replays. So now I have to be very careful not to cast the same thing twice, because I'll get it from, like, let's say the High Elves and the Beastmen both send me the same replay, and I don't know right now that that's a replay I'm looking for. So it's tricky. It's all tricky. All right. So now I need to take down this, but leave the blocker up. Let's get into it. Replays. Okay. So I am looking for Raced versus Sippa. And we have it. It's a bad idea? No, it's not a bad idea. It's just complicated. I believe this is your first tourney you've ever run, so these things do get simpler over time. It's just like, yeah. That's why in a lot of my events, beforehand, I coordinate with people. Like, we have a faction face-off coming up, if you remember that. So it's Undead versus Chaos. And I specifically said to all the Undead players, I'm like, you send me the replays. And whenever an Undead player sends me a replay, I save it. And if a Chaos player sends me a replay, I ignore it. So, it's just admin stuff. Anyway, what this tournament is hoping to do is take some spicy builds, because you don't really care if you lose. Your opponent has to take your spicy build, and then they'll probably lose and whatever. So we're getting off to the races very quickly here with the Dark Elves of Raced versus the Kislev of Sippa. Dreadlord, Sword and Shield. Raced keeps taking this fucking thing. I don't know why. I don't know what he sees in her. Maybe he just likes her. 1 Harpy, a Witch Elf, a Shade with dual weapons, the Bolt Fiend's Dark Shard ROR, a single Sister of Slaughter, 4 Dread Spears, a Dark Caster with Chill Wind and Blade Wind, a Bloodrack Shrine, 2 Dark Riders, and the Knights of the Ebon Claw, Dread Knights ROR. Alright, for the other side, we have 2 Warbear Riders, 4 Ice Guard, 2 of which are glaives, 2 of which are swords, and a front line of armored Kossars, if you can even call 3 infantry a front line. We do have Tsarina Katerin with Death Frost, Ice Maiden's Kiss, Standard Ground, and Frostfang. A very small, very elite Kislev army. Fly spraying my mouth? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're having fun down there. Yeah, Frog, it happens. It happens, man. Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Death Frost onto the Dreadlord, Sword and Shield, plus Ice Guard shooting. You're going to get a lot of damage out. There's no Soul Stealer for this lady. There's no healing whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Armored Kossars and the Ice Guard have moved their shots onto the Bloodrack Shrine and the Witch Elves, who are taking a lot of damage. And Ice Maiden's Kiss down the Sisters of Slaughter. That is a very expensive unit with no armor, so that's a great target. So far, things going very bad for the Dark Elves. This advance has hurt them a lot. They've almost lost the Witch Elf. Their Lord is below half HP, and a Sister of Slaughter plus a Dark Rider are getting murdered. Tough going. But maybe this is where it turns around, as a Blade Wind completely whiffs on the Ice Guard. I think it probably started inside of them, tickled a little bit, and then left. Yeah. But wow, oh god. Shades plus a Chill Wind murdered those Ice Guard. They already have their Dire Blood passive popped, and I don't think it matters if the Harpies win or not. Those guys are dead. Those guys are doomed. And Katerin's gone in a little too deep here. Now surrounded by spears, the Knights of the Ebon Claw, and the Dreadlord. She's down to below half HP and falling. Warbear Riders are going to have to charge in there and save her, but it looks like they're more busy dealing with the Shades and the Harpies. And she actually does manage to slip out on her own, so good for you, Katerin. Good for you. Ice Guard continuing to try and punish the Knights of the Ebon Claw, while the Bloodrack Shrine just sits back here and vibes. I just want to see it shoot, like, one time. I'll wait. Wow. You did as much damage as like a 5 Wind of Magic spell. Anyway, Warbear Riders trying to deal with the Shades get rear charged by the Knights of the Ebon Claw and the Dreadlord, so they are getting murdered. Alright, they're dead. They're entirely dead. No hope of resuscitating them. The Armored Kossar front line of 3 whole troops is still here. Fuck yeah. +1 for Kislev. As for the Ice Guard, we have 2 extremely wounded, 1 moderately wounded, and a full health one left. The full health one is still firing at the Dark Caster. I'm kind of surprised this Bloodrack Shrine has just been allowed to do whatever it pleases, but I guess both players have just identified that it's not really a big deal. It is getting free damage out, though, so kind of hope somebody deals with it at some point. Up to them, though. Warbear Riders just trying to avoid getting in a fight that involves a bunch of spearmen at their feet. I don't really know who's winning. This isn't a game state I'm used to, where, like, every unit is super elite, so... yeah, I don't know. I think the Dark Elves are fine? I think the Dark Elves are chilling? I mean, there's 1 Warbear and an Ice Guard, but let's see if this Blade Wind just insta-kills them. It goes the correct direction. Okay, that helps. The first one went off into Narnia, but that one did okay. Fault from the Bloodrack Shrine's doing alright. I have not noticed these Ice Guards' DPS, to be honest. 1200, so apparently they've been doing okay. I just haven't noticed. Things are all of a sudden going bad for Kislev. They're trying to whittle down the Shades, but it feels like the Shades are just taking infinite amounts of Ice Guard ammunition and not dying. They don't care. Katerin throws down a Frostfang to try and bail out the Warbear Riders. Meanwhile, she's dealing with some Dark Riders herself, but yeah, those Warbears aren't having a good time. Spears with their anti-large, plus Sister of Slaughter applying poison, and then you have the armor-piercing Knights. Of course, it's not going great. Another Ice Maiden's Kiss tries to clear out the infantry, but the Warbearers will not be saved this day. Without them, I just don't see how Kislev's gonna win. Another Blade Chill Wind. There's Blade Wind and Chill Wind. Come on now. Anyway. Another Chill Wind rocks through those Ice Guard. And Katerin stands alone. Unironically, the Bloodrack Shrine could probably carry this game. It has almost 1,000 value. It's been shooting all game at Ice Guard. And it has 1,000 value. What up, Lich? How you doing? Army losses has hit, and unless this game magically turns around in the last 5 seconds of Kislev's life, I think that is a GG. So Raced Game 2 will have to take that Kislev build and try to win with it. Dreadlord did okay. Bloodrack Shrine got 400 value in melee in the last second of the game, as opposed to its entire game of shooting 900. Oof. Knight's Claw and the Dark Caster got actually pretty good value. Pretty good value for them. Shades did great. The Bolt Fiends did incredibly well. Yeah. Damn, Bolt Fiends did great. For Sippa, Zarina did fine. Bears did eh. Ice Guard, very mixed. Some good, some real bad. Armored Kossars did well. GG. This game was really janky. It was really janky, and I didn't have a lot of analysis because I'm just like, what? What is happening? What is happening? It's really hard to evaluate when you've never seen like half the units being played. All right. So that was Raced versus Sippa. Game 2 is Bjorn versus Longboy. Found it. Bjorn versus Longboy. You have Rattling Guns. You love to see it. Sorry, I got another couple messages. Okay, I have 7 messages from my brother, and I'm just going to take a second to deal with that because it's bothering me. Okay. There. Now my Discord doesn't have 9+ messages waiting for me, and that gives me anxiety. Now I just have 1. Skaven versus Lizardmen. 3 Pterodon Riders for Lizardmen. A Quaddle trying to guard Mazdamundi, the Shredder of Lustria, and the Thunderous One beneath its Stalk aura. 5 Skinks aside from that, and that's actually the whole thing. That is the whole thing. That's not Mazdamundi, it's a Life Salon with Regrowth and Earthblood. Oh lord. Alright, get ready for healing single entities. Let's go. The other side for Skaven, 2 Poisonwind Globes, a bunch of Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves, kind of interspersed throughout. We have 1 Doomflayer, 2 Night Runners, 1 Jezzail, 2 Rattling Guns, 2 Rat Ogres, Ikit Zap Zap, and Ikit Claw with Flensing Ruin, which he immediately throws onto the Quaddle. That's not a terrible idea. I do like that the Quaddle immediately separates itself from the other single entities, so we can't get insane value for that, but yeah. It was fine. The Warp Lightning Cannon does need to reprioritize onto the big single entities now to see them. And the Rattling Guns, I know Longboy was asking me about Skaven a while ago, so I'll give some feedback here. In this situation, your Rattling Guns need to be here and here. Well, with this right there, that's not as great, but my main point is talking about the Rattling Guns. They need to be far enough apart that they can't get shut down by the same thing. You'd ideally want them away from Ikit Zap Zap. It's too late for this now, but you would have wanted to deploy them like here and here. So Ikit Zap Zap can shoot what goes after either of them, and either of them can shoot what goes after each other, or Ikit Zap Zap. Things like that. The Rattling Guns, with their medium to short range, being deployed all the way in the back like that, they're just taking too long to get to the front and be useful. Like most of your front line, your globes are already completely fucked, and the Rattling Guns are just getting here now. They will target the Thunderous One or the Shredder. Either is fine. It's possible to miss a target at this range, so they're going to get incredibly good value for themselves. Already half health off the Thunderous One. And they probably paid for themselves in that volley. Close. They get a second one off, they'll be fine. Where's the other Rattling? Why is he over there? Oh, he's trying to deal with some Pterodons? Fuck him, honestly. You got bigger problems. Literally bigger problems. Shredder's going straight through the Rattling Guns. And if you ever saw my tier list video where I said Skaven fell from A tier to, like, C, this would be why. Like, they have a ton of armor piercing single target DPS, and it just like doesn't matter in the healing meta and that kind of thing. Like the Skaven should be able to tear this build apart, but they're not going to. They're just gonna get run over. Because their Rat Ogres can't stop them. Like, these Rat Ogres do need to activate and go up there and do stuff, but they can't stop them. They'll just get walked through. Yeah. And look, all that damage has been undone. Even a Flensing Ruin on top of it was not enough. One regrowth healed all the damage 2 Rattling Gun volleys did, and whatever the Warp Lightning Cannon did, and what that Flensing Ruin did. He's already back to full. It's just fucking doomed. So if anybody's like, wow, biased ass Skaven main, putting them in C tier, it's like, yeah, I mean, if you run into big healing single entities, which is the meta right now, you can just get completely rolled. Like, Kairos Fate Weaver and a Soul Grinder with regrowth can literally defeat an entire Skaven army. Just ask Lenorm. He's fucking beat me in that matchup like 3 times that way. I killed his whole army, but I didn't kill Kairos and Soul Grinder, and I lost. It was like, oh, okay, cool. I have lost to Dreadsaurian build similar to this one, too. I do have some modern builds that can deal with it. But because I spent a lot of time practicing a matchup and getting good at it and figuring out how to deal with it, doesn't mean that, like, on my tier list, I'm just gonna be like, well, since I figured it out in one case, Skaven are fine. It's like, no. Still have issues with, like, Bellicor running around and just chain routing them. Problems with Lizardmen doing this to them. Problems with Boris Todbringer on the Empire just kind of doing the same sort of thing to them. I haven't been talking about the game much, but this is generally just what happens in this matchup nowadays, where it's like, yeah, everything's chain routing. And the Lizardmen are going to walk around and chain route everything while healing. There's not a lot of analysis I can do. I did all the analysis at the start. The Rattling Guns weren't in the exact right position, and the Lizardman build was a pretty hard counter to what the Skaven brought. And it's like, all right, that's all I have. Unless you want to hear me say over and over again, the Thunderous one charged the globes and they ran away, and then the Shredder Vustria charged the Rattling Guns and they ran away, or the Kodal charged the Rattling Guns and they ran away. It's not a lot of analysis. So yeah, man. That was a master class in why I put Skaven down in C tier. How's the tournament going? Good. I just started. So for Bjorn, Dreadsaurian got a little bit of value, Thunderous one got a little bit of value, so did the Quaddle. You're not really going to see great value anywhere, though, because it's just about routing the Skaven over and over. You don't get a lot of damage value, just walk at them and they run away. Ikit Claw did fine, Warp Lightning Cannon did okay. Doomflayers, unfortunately, did nothing. Rattling Guns both paid for themselves, just wasn't enough. Globes didn't have much to do, because there's nothing to throw at. Night Runners did okay. Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves insta-routed when they looked at something. GG. Yeah. Ogre Kingdoms does a similar thing with Crushers and Stonehorns, and then Troll Guts and Butcher. And it's like, wow, I can't overcome the healing of all these single entities. I do okay into Bretonia these days, but it's similar with the Lewin, the Hippogriff Knights, and the Grail Knights. They just raffle stomp you with healing. It's nuts. Okay, and then game 3 is Segos versus Normal Swamp. Here it is. High Elves, Dark Elves. That doesn't mean Skaven are bad. I was just talking about one specific point. Skaven are fine. Since then, I have upgraded them back to like B or A tier. They just have to play really differently, but it is like heavily counterpick. Skaven are a better counterpick than a first pick faction right now. Because it's like, if your opponent picks something that can't super single entity healing abuse you, Skaven are going to be really strong. Because they're just like, Globes are too good at killing anything with multiple models. It's wild. So like High Elves can struggle versus them. They have some healing single entities, but Phoenixes and Dragons just aren't the same as like other things. Do you think making the on fire effect better would fix that? Maybe, but Skaven don't have a lot of access to fire. What's with the stream title? Foes or friends? I mean, Sippa, aren't you playing in this one? No, you're not. You have just a similar name to someone else. There's dogs barking outside and Hazel got excited. Basically, if you take a build and you beat You take a build, your opponent takes a build. When you win the game, in the next round, you have to take your opponent's build that you beat to go forward. All right, Dark Elves versus High Elves. Let's get on with this. No more talking about Skaven. No more. I forbid it. For the Dark Elves, 2 Scourge Runner Chariots. We have a Supreme Sorceress of Dark, so it's Malekith with boobs. 3 Witch Elves, 4 Dread Spears, including the ROR. And then 2 Dark Riders, 2 Cold Ones, Spear Riders, and a Reaper Bolt Thrower. For the High Elves, we have Imric, White Lions, 5 White Lions of Krace, 2 Illyrian Reavers, the Fireborn, 3 Archers, some with armor, some without, and a Life Mage. I love how the first game was like pure meme, the second game was half meme, and the third game is full sweat. That's actually really funny. All right, so Imric is trying to route the entire Dark Elf line, and the Dark Elves are trying to kill the Lifecaster so that Imric becomes infinitely less scary. I favor the High Elves on that trade so far. I mean, these Dark Elf front lines are taking a lot of damage. Out of their 3 Witch Elves, 2 are already dead, pretty much. Wow, both sides are just trading back lines. All right, the Life Mage is toast. She was actually going to shatter. Yeah, she's gone. No healing for Imric. That is a brutal loss. I just wonder if it was worth it. You're about to lose a Bolt Thrower and all of your infantry for sniping that Lord. Not that sniping the mage was a mistake. It's just this High Elf rush is actually proving rather brutal. Normally the High Elves don't do this much damage this quickly, so this is kind of shocking. Archers are getting shut down, but it's not the worst thing in the world. TBH. This will very quickly become, can female Malekith, some Cold One Knights, and Scourge Runners carry this entire game, or will Imric and his White Lions prevail? Because the cavalry for the High Elves is in a bit of trouble. Both the Illyrian Reavers aren't looking so hot, and the Fireborn are currently getting rear charge, and again, there's 0 healing for them, which they usually bank on quite heavily. But I don't know what the Dark Elves are going to do about all these White Lions. Scourge Runner Chariots and Cold One Knights are infamously terrible at killing large amounts of infantry. This could be a bit of a bitch, though. Imric is currently getting gatted by both Scourge Runner Chariots, and the Cold Ones are chasing him down, all while, like, I can't highlight this enough. The mage getting sniped is huge, because there's no healing for him, so it all sticks. Imric's only strong because healing's super strong, and that he can just, like, make dumb decisions and shrug it off with regrowth. But without regrowth, he, 1, can't make any dumb decisions, and 2, the Scourge Runner poke actually matters for him. Illyrian Reavers are trying to wrap up those Scourge Runners now and save Imric a little bit of the pain, but multiple Cold Ones are piling onto him, and he's taking a shitload of damage. The Fireborn are pushed off by the Dark Elf Sorceress. They'll come back, but a little too late. Things are looking rough. Things are looking rough, my friends. Dark Elf scraping together what reinforcements they can. But oof. No Lifecaster really hurts the Dragon Princes and Imric. This is going to be a brutal Soul Stealer. While Imric's already surrounded by anti-large armor-piercing cav, he's also getting Soul Stealer, which will just whittle him down. That might be GG, which is surprising. The early game was looking so good for the High Elves. So this is going to find the worst build? Kinda. Imric does get rid of one of the Cold One Knights and then a rear charge onto another. Actually, that's just a Dark Rider. Rear charge from the Fireborn onto a Dark Rider will also push them off. And Archers are trying to offer a little bit of support, but this isn't going to matter because, like, you have a full health Dark Elf Caster Lord who has about 5 Soul Stealers left in her because I've only seen 2 so far. And Imric can't deal with her at this point. He's too low. She's not an amazing duelist, but she is fine. Oof. Army losses is creeping ever closer for the unfortunate High Elves, and there it goes. Imric not looking so hot without that Lifecaster. I guess he would have had to come back. He would have had to come bail her out, but he was just too deep in enemy lines. Yeah. White Lions Krace did okay. Illyrian Reavers did fine. Archers did okay. Dragon Princes and Imric did not show up to the party. For normal swamp, 2,000 on his Lord. Another 2,000 on Cold One Knight, pretty much. 1,200 on another ones. The Cold One Knight's got a lot of value. Witch Elves got cucked. Reaper Bolt Thrower also got murdered. Dreadspear frontline didn't get much done either, but the Scourge Runners, Cav, and Lord did all the work they needed to. GG's. So then, how does that do with this? Okay, so I can now drag this up. So you can see in the losers bracket, you see Longboy and Segos. And we'll follow Segos down. So now you'll get to see the first instance of what this event is. So now, Segos is taking normal Swamp's Dark Elf build that just beat him. And Longboy is taking Bjorn's Lizardman build that just beat him. Okay. Blockers are all down. Blockers are all down. So we just saw both of these builds recently. The Shredder of Lustria, the Thunderous One, a Quaddle, and a Life Salon with 5 Skinks for support and 3 Pterodons versus the Dark Elves with 2 Dark Riders, 2 Cold One Knights, a Reaper Bolt Thrower, 3 Witch Elves, 4 Dread Spears including the ROR, the Dark Elf, Soul Stealer Caster, and 2 Scourge Chariots. I don't want to spoil it, but it becomes spicy real quick. Gotcha. The losers take the winners, and the winners take the losers. There's a losers bracket as well. So losers bracket is going to be filled with winners builds, and the winners bracket is going to be filled with losing builds. It is Rainy Frog's idea. I am just a guest caster. So, Scourge Runners and the Reaper Bolt Throwers trying to get some damage out onto the single entities, but first they need to discover them, which they now have. I don't know what this Dark Elf build can do against the 4 single entities. Cold One Knights are not the best single entity killers. If 2 of them surround Imrik and he has no support whatsoever, yes, they can do good damage, but like in general, if one of them jumps to the Shredder of Lustria, it's going to get his ass kicked. So I don't know. I think this Lizard build is going to probably win. Probably. So Longboy is advancing with his lizards. And Segos is doing his best to fight back. I believe that's Segos. Yeah, this is Segos. Alright. Shredder is in, and wow, that charge did damage. My god. He half-elfed the Witch Elf on the charge. That's a lot of not okay. I like this actually. I like the Dark Elf Lord just fighting the Quaddle in the sky, and it gets a regrowth burned onto it because she realized that there's no air support for it at all. Like, there's no archers on the ground that can punish her, so unless that thing lands, she's just gonna get free damage. Meanwhile, Scourge and Chariots are trying to shoot at the Thunderous One while also cycle charging Skinks off the map. Now, Skinks are getting completely karate chopped into the dirt, but I'm sure neither player is really that excited about the Skinks dying. This could be exciting, though. The Life Salon getting left a little bit alone. Cold Knights are jumping onto him. Skinks are nearby to support, but the Thunderous One probably has to come back into melee to help out, and the Shredder of Lustria has to come over here. Pterodons could also do pretty good if they come over here and rock drop on this area, but the Salon needs to be bailed out. You got to keep that healing up. Madness of Cain Rampage is procced onto the Salon, so his melee defense is lowered, but he's also rampaging, so he can't heal himself or do anything. And a Soul Stealer is even going to go down for the sniping. Longboy, no! Some of his Pterodons are acting like flying dog units, which is fine, but the Shredder has to come back here. He has to bail out the Life Salon, but it looks like nobody is. And the Thunderous One is just being used as a ranged unit. No! No! Somebody save the Salon, for the love of God! The Shredder's trying to come back now, but it looks like he's going to rear charge the Witch Elves. It doesn't look like he's trying to attack this. He is now. It's probably too little too late. And the big scary dinosaurs are a lot less big and a lot less scary without healing. Life Salon's getting sniped out. Yeah, 800 HP, sub 1000. Scourge and Chariot's trying to run away from the Thunderous One at this point. They've done probably so much fucking damage. Yeah. So much. Pterodons did use their rock drops, actually. They already used them somewhere, somehow. It's awesome using builds and races I've never actually tried. Get your optimism out of here. No more optimism for you. All right, Thunderous One is on his last legs, takes a brutal volley from the back with those Scourge Runners, and is getting currently T-posed on by a dragon. You know, that bug was mostly gone, and for some reason it still happens to the Stegodon mounts, but the Life Salon and the Thunderous One are both routing right now. Oh boy. Quaddle's trying to do his best. Shredder's also doing his best. So here's the question. Both Scourge Runners are out of ammunition. Can the Shredder solo carry? Probably not. Pterodons get caught in melee by the Sorceress of Dark, and they're just going to instantly rout. The Salon isn't even dead yet, by the way, so everybody's leadership is about to get a lot worse off. Nice quick Soul Stealer onto the Pterodon. Kind of surprised it was used on the Pterodons. Why the Pterodons? I don't know what they did to deserve this. Salon's still not dead, and that's a very cool thing. In Warhammer 2, I used to rage a lot about how hard it was to kill a fucking Salon in melee, and my rage continues, it appears. The Salon is officially dead. That'll get both these Pterodons out of here. All the Skinks are routing too. The Quaddle is doing his damnedest. And the Shredder charges back in. Scourge Run Chariots going into melee. They will not get a lot done in melee versus the Shredder, but we still have like 3 Spearman units. Those should be enough to take down the Shredder. How many breath attacks do you have? 2? Oh yeah, both breath attacks should go into the Shredder. Guess you're not talking to me? No? Nick Right Face? I think I said what you said at the start, so then I just let it go. Alright, quick fast forward as the Shredder continues to try and carry. Pterodons are back. Quaddle is back, and this is where we're getting into that concerning period where it's like, man, Cold One Knights sure suck in melee. Can anything kill the Shredder? Nice Soul Stealer is going to hit all 3 of these units, both Pterodons and the Shredder. It'll do good damage. Quaddle's still trying to duel the Dark Elf Lord. Not getting a lot done, unfortunately, for little Quaddle. And what is left for Lizards? Just these 2. Yep, we are down to 2 versus 600. One of those 2 is a goddamn Quaddle. It is going to try and land. Should put it in range of the Witch Elves. I wonder if it's had its second rampage yet. Because it could rampage again. Uh-oh. Leadership. Leadership's dipping for the Shredder. It's dipping! The other rampage is in. A breath attack onto the Shredder. That should be the end of him. Yeah, army losses will hit. And Lizards are defeated by the Dark Elves. Oh, I see, McRightface, I see. Cold Ones did not get a lot done. Scourge Run Chariots got way too much done. The rest of this stuff did okay. Spearman did okay. Caster did very well. For Longboy, the Life Salon unfortunately got sniped very quickly. 3,200 on the Shredder. Quaddle did alright. Thunderous One did not. Thunderous One has a range attack, but it's way more useful as a melee unit. Just for the future reference. Why aren't people defending their wizards? Because Longboy is a potato. Longboy is a self-admitted potato. So now I can move the blocker slightly this way. Oh shit, how's this one gonna work? There will be spoilers ahead, I guess. Because otherwise I can't show the names. Alright. So we have Rainy Frog and Raced, and then Bjorn and Normal Swamp. So these would be the winners from round 1. Plus Rainy Frog had a bye round. So Normal Swamp versus Segos. I already did, so I can delete it. Normal Swamp 2. Normal Swamp versus Bjorn. Okay, haven't cast this one, so load it up. Okay. Anyone else buffering? What? I'm not buffering on my own sweet stream, if that helps anybody at all. Now I'm concerned. Hey! Uh-oh. Hazel hears someone in the house who I was expecting, which is why she's in here with me. It's hella buffering? That is not my fault! Okay. Things are getting popping real quick. So, we have the defeated High Elves build for... This would be... Yes, I know, bud. This would be for normal swamp, I think. So we have Imric, Lifecaster, 3 Archers, 5 White Lions, 2 Lone Reavers. And for the Skaven... Oh god, this is going to be so bad for the High Elves. For the Skaven, we have 2 Night Runners, 3 Rattling Gunners, 1 Warplock Jezzail, 2 Rat Ogres, Icket Zap Zap, a shit ton of Clan Rats, Escapes Life, some with Spears, some without, a Doom Flayer, 2 Poison Globes, Icket Claw, Flensing Ruin, and Crack's Call. Didn't notice that one. I thought it was the Howling Warp Kill. So yeah, the Skaven have all the tools to deal with this. They have all the tools in the world to deal with this. Even though the Doom Flayer is a waste of 1,100 gold, or 1,200 these days, I forget. Even though the Doom Flayer is a waste of way too much gold, Skaven don't need it. Uh-oh. They might need it if they just throw some Rattling Guns into the Fireborn. Whoops! Oh, fuck. Those guys are dead as hell. Rat Ogres get Lord of Dragons too, so they have 0 melee attack and 2 melee defense. Even rear charging the Fireborn, they're not going to get much damage done. So that's a bit of a disaster for the Skaven on the top side. Hazel, leave it. Leave it. Alright, Icket bails out the other Rattling Gun from the earlier Reavers charge into madness. Hazel! Hey, come here. Come here. Up, up. Up, up. Up, up. Yes, I hear them too. Hush. Hush it, nobody. Hush it, nobody. Hush it, nobody. They're okay. You're okay. Oh, shush. Oh, shush. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. A. Leave it. Shh, 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 shh. Yeah. Leave it. Leave it. Okay. Okay. Sorry. We have a scared puppy. We have a scared puppy, and that can't be allowed. Why are you so scared? Why are you so scared? Alright. I love you, but I gotta cast now. Settle. Alright. Where were we? Top flank not going well at all for the Skaven. Overcommitted a little bit with those Rattling Guns and such. Ooh. And a Flensing Ruin onto the Fireborn is not going to do a lot of damage. That is a whoopsie. I will say it every time we have a stream with Flensing Ruin on it. Flensing Ruin, A, is only good versus single entities. It is not good at all versus multi-entity models. Stay. Leave it. Alright, Icket Claw is trying to get around. Are you gonna be like this all stream? Anyway, Imric is after the last Rattling Gun that is still standing. It's really the only threat to him while he's in the air. And he has landed on it. Rat Ogres can try to surround him, but he's just way too good of a combatant. They're not going to do any damage. We have other Rattling Guns that are trying to return now, and they're firing at White Lions, but the White Lions are completely surrounded by Clan Rats, so they're really not going to get a good shot off. We'll see how that goes. They have to find a way to shoot at the Dragon Princes or something, though. Speaking of the Dragon Princes, they're having a bad time. Right in front of Icket Zap Zap, they get blobbed up around Icket Claw and shot at. So that's a lot of AoE damage. Hey! Shush. Shush. Quick little Earthblood for Imric and the Dragon Princes. Clan Rats are now starting to push out a little bit to be annoying to the archers. And Imric's dove onto Ikit Claw. Flensing Ruin has been saved up for him. It is not overcast, but it'll still do decent damage to him. Ikit still has to try to run away, though. He doesn't want this fight. Even with Rat Ogres nearby, see, they just instantly terror rats. They're not a big deal. Rattling Guns trying to fire another their Reavers, who are maybe possibly going to rout. No, they rally at the last second. That means these Rattling Guns are doomed. Well, those are Giselles. The Giselles are doomed. The Rattling Guns behind them might be extra doomed. Poison Globes are trying to return to the fight. The White Lions of Krace are winning wherever they have found combat. Meanwhile, the Fireborn will charge down more Rattling Guns. Ikit Zap Zap is still online, and that's the one thing going well for this Skaven. Meanwhile, Rattling Guns and Poison Globes manage to peel for each other and get this weapons team Conclave back to fighting shape. Imric is here. Hopefully all the weapons teams together can peel him off. Rattling Guns getting a ton of good damage down. Globes also chipping in, and he is down to half HP in the blink of an eye. Fireborn on the far side complete their mission. They take out the Rattling Guns, but at the cost of their own lives. They rout, and some Poison Globes and Skaven Slaves just trying to disrupt the archers. Oh yeah, there's Doom players. I forgot there were Doom players in this game. They have halfway paid for themselves. Alright. Imric landed, and he did not take out the Rattling Guns, so they finished him off. Plus the Warp Blinding Can's gonna hit him, and Imric is actually routing. Now we have White Lions sprinting to shut down Ikit Zap Zap, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Unless Imric gets some healing or something. I don't think he's going to rally before he hits the edge of the map. He needs like an overcasted regrowth, and for Ikit Claw to leave him alone, that would get him back up. But Earthblood is cast onto these White Lions, so I don't think there's enough Winds of Magic for a regrowth onto Imric. Or if there is, then High Elves are just bullshit. Are healing spells better now that they heal based on percent? Oh yeah, they are very much better. How can he pause? Is it a replay? Yeah. Yeah, it was. Because a type of tournament like this takes a lot of logistics, so we put it on delay so that I could, cast effectively. Imric is now getting chased down by the Rat Ogres and Skaven Slaves or Clan Rats? Clan Rat Spears. Okay, that's a bit better. He is getting whittled down. I think he will probably die. Ikit Zap Zap is entirely shut down, though, and that is huge for the High Elves if they want to stay in this game. That was a lot of balance of power in that full health artillery piece. And a regrowth is actually, no, just Earthblood. Earthblood is cast on the Fireborn. So just sacrificing Imric, they've decided that he has run his course. Rattling Guns, safe and sound, firing into the White Lions. They're not getting a lot of damage, but man, they're trying. The suppressed slow is actually nice for these globes that are running around. Rattling Guns. Rattling Guns are crazy, man. They either do all of the damage or none of it, and there's no in between. I love how many Rattling Guns are firing at that single White Lion over there. Imric terror routs them, and also the slows were enough for the globes to get back online and do the real work. More Earthbloods from the High Elves trying to keep their expensive units here, but I don't know, man. We still have a Rattling Gun, we have a globe, some Rat Ogres, some infantry, a full health Doom Flare. I think it's just too far gone for our friends, the High Elves. It was looking spooky at the start there. The High Elves had some good picks, but not enough. Missile resist is 30% for the White Lions, I think. Yeah. That's true. The Rattling Guns just in general don't do very good damage versus infantry. Brass Orb plus a volley from the Poison Globes is enough to send High Elves into army losses. That's GG. So many throws these last few games. Mistakes can be made, but it's also a bit of like when you have a for fun tournament, people can just kind of like vibe. Have a bit more fun. Archers did well. Dragon Princes did well. Imric actually struggled to get his value back, and the White Lions did fine. Yeah. For Bjorn, Ikit Claw, 2,300 value. Ikit Zap Zap almost paid for itself. Giselles, ooh, wow, did not get a lot of value. But the Rattling Guns did okay and great. Rat Ogres did just fine. They paid for themselves. Globes did well. Night Runners did fine. And Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves did okay. It was a tough build for that. I mean, the High Elves to face in general, but that High Elf build especially struggled a bit. So, props to Normal Swamp, making it a close game. I would not have expected it to be close at all, judging by the builds, so you can feel good about that. All right, back to here. So we went to Bjorn and Normal Swamp. We didn't actually cast Race versus Frog, so let me find that. I don't have Raced and Frog. Frog, I know you're in the chat. Do you have Raced versus you? Because I don't. Where the hell is it? I also don't have Swamp 2, which I know he sent me. Did it not save? I sent it to you, the first one? Where are some of these going? Nice to catch you again. It's going good. It's going good. It's going good. Sorry. For some reason, some of the replays I saved before this, I either saved them incorrectly? I don't know. Frog, the one you sent me that you're talking about was Normal Swamp versus Bjorn. It's not your replay. I found one though, I think. No. Because I need Raced versus you. Which I don't have. Sorry. Dealing with a thing. There it is. I do see what you're talking about. I can see it up there, but for some reason... it didn't save. I wonder if it saved to my desktop and not my replays folder. Don't know. I'll figure it out after the stream, but I have it now. Sorry about the delay. Here we are with Rainy Frog and Raced. So Raced round 1 beat Sippa. Sippa had brought this Kislev build. The 4 Ice Guard, 3 Armored Cossars, 2 Bears, and Katerin. We have not seen this Tomb Kings at all because Rainy Frog had a bye round. So this is our first seeing of the Tomb Kings. And it's a lot of snakes. It's like so many snakes. We have 2 Necropolis Knights on one flank, 1 with halberds, 1 without. 3 more on the other flank, 2 without, 1 halberds. There's a total of 2 halberds and 3 regular. The Blessed Legion of Flach, Armor Sundering, Skeleton ROR Archers, 3 Skeleton Warriors. We have a Lich Priest of Nehekara to provide healing for some of the snakes and stuff. We have High Queen Khalida also on her own snake for a snake rush. Does Falcon still play? Not as far as I know. The Venom Staff, first cast from Khalida, actually does some pretty good damage to those guys. Alright. I have a bunch of pings. Why do I have a bunch of pings? Alright, deal with some of them later. You tried the spell? Which spell? What spell did you try? Is it the snake staff thing? The Venom Staff and Venom Wave are actually different things. How low is the cooldown on the Venom Staff? You've cast it twice already. Good God. Anyway, Necropolis Knights with Halberds gonna fight the Warbear Riders. On paper, this is a good fight for the Necropolis Knights because they're halberd stuff and they're anti-large and whatever. But they, for some reason, just never trade well versus other cavalry. Don't know why. So they're getting completely pounded by these bears, and more Necropolis Knights are just going to join in. So the Armored Cossars will destroy the front line pretty easily, and the Archer support will help out the back line. So these snakes have got to disrupt a lot of the archers if they want to have a shot in this game. More snakes pile into the bears, and the bears plus the Ice Guard with glaives are holding. And they are glaives, so they're halberd infantry, even if they're not that great at the halberd party thing. I made an explosion in the void. Oh, whoops. Curse of the Buffer. Hey, I don't know what's going on. Necronites feel really underwhelming. They super do. Could not agree more. Deathfrost is back onto Kalita. She's taking a bit of damage, but the Necropolis Knights are getting completely fucking worked over. My god. They're having a bad time. Blessed Legion of Flach are doing their best versus the armored Kossars, lowering their armor so that the Lich Priest can do a bit of damage, I guess. And some of the Necropolis Knights are onto the Ice Guard, but we started out with 7. We're down to 3. Was it 7 or was it 5? I think it was 5. We started out 5, we're down to 3, and one of those 3 is not looking too hot. Lich Priest is a little isolated. He casts Jaff's Curse Blades or something. No, it's Narrow's Incantation Protection over here. Wanted to just cast something, give his army some healing. I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Zarina came out here just to breathe on the Blessed Legion of Flach a little bit. And Kalita's below half HP. She's not feeling too good. Both of our bears are quite injured, but is it enough? Balance of Power says no. I say probably not. I really don't believe in Necro Knights. Cool Umbrella had a brief stint of liking Necro Knights, and I just never joined that train. I hate Necro Knights. I think they're giga trash. Anyway, High Queen Kalita out there fighting, doing some good stuff, but the Ice Guard are kind of rampaging through the backline, which is not a thing you often get to say. As for our skeleton friends, 2 of the skeleton warriors are actually still alive, which surprises me. I thought the Kossars would kick their ass a lot faster than this. For the 3 snakes remaining, 2 of them are in dire straits. 1 is chillin'. And Kalita still tries to chase down these Ice Guard. Orber Riders have stand your ground, giving them an impressive 60 melee defense. Necropolis Knights, just not that powerful. 41 melee attack. I don't know where they're getting that buff from. Their number's green as if they're getting a buff. Why? Don't know why. It's not going well for them, so who cares why. More Necro Knights joining back in. Another Deathfrost onto High Queen Kalita, really taxing her down. The Blessed Legion of Flach are still here. Very surprised the Tomb King's infantry has hung on this long. Still 2 skeletons, but the last of our Necro Knights are fading. Fading, fading, fading. And the Ice Guard are still here. All 4 of them. Still technically around. Technically is the best kind of around as Kalita dives deeper in due to her animations. Warbear Riders both pop their By Our Blood passive, but it's going to get them through to the end of this game, I believe, as Kalita is about to fall. And without her, it's doomed! The army I wanted to bring was worst. Was worse. Oh, okay. I see, I see. The Shopti summon is out now, but the game is already over, leading to a kind of funny delay and then an immediate army loss on that poor Shopti. I think it took him too long to summon them, and it wasn't his fault because it's based off of models killed, and he lost a lot of his army, but he didn't lose a lot of his models quickly. Kalita did 2,300 damage value worth of work, which is actually super impressive. Necropolis Knights with Halberds did okay. Necropolis Knights Basic did okay-ish. And the Skeletons and the Blessed Legion of Flach did their jobs. For Race and the Kids Love build, Zarina got 2,200 value. Ice Bears almost got around 2,000 apiece. The Ice Guard with swords didn't get much done, but the Glaives did fine. The Armored Kossars did okay. GG. Yeah, the army losses is what gave you the ability to even summon it at all. I've seen it before. There we go. So now we're done with that. We need to go down to Normal Swamp versus Sippa. And I found it right away. Okay. Swamp versus Sippa. You should understand all of the builds by now, but we're back here. So the dreaded Skaven build that's been floating around now has to fight the Dark Elf build. Didn't Turin call the Blessed Legion the Blessed Legion of Demonization? Yeah, because he thought he was going to say fuck, and it's fuck. You don't have to swear. You just can if you don't want to commit to the nasally nature of that name. Flacht! Anyway. This was Raced's original build, the Dark Elves. They were victorious in round 1. We have Sisters of Slaughter, Knights of the Ebb and Claw, 2 Dark Riders, a Harpy, and then some Witch Elves, Shades, the Dark Shards, Arawar, the Bolt Fiends, a Bloodrack Shrine, and a bunch of Dread Spears, plus a Darkcaster with Blade Wind and Chill Wind. For the Skaven, we've seen this build all day because it's the best build that's ever existed. We have 2 Rattling Guns, 1 Warplock Jezzail, Ikit Zap Zap, 2 Globes, 2 Night Runners, a whole bunch of Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves, the Doom Flayers, and 2 Rat Ogres plus Ikit Claw with Howling Morp Gale and Flensing Ruin. Dreadlord's Sword and Board not having the best time for now. As Jezzail's, I don't know what you guys are shooting at these days. Probably want to shoot at the Shades. Probably. As Ikit Claw just fights the Dreadlords straight up. Doesn't give a fuck. Doesn't give a single shit. And the Bloodrack Shrine is currently sitting back as if it is a ranged unit. It does need to get involved in the melee as the Dark Elves are getting completely worked over. Oh my god, they're having a terrible time. The Knights of the Ebb and Claw are almost dead. Or Blighting Cannon is murdering the Bloodrack Shrine. It's a terrible time to be a Dark Elf. Doomflayers are going to rear charge these Harpies. Maybe get rid of them? Maybe. Doomflayers aren't the best at that task. Rattling Guns are moving up, but where and why? What are you doing? You're going to fire at the Bolt Fiends? Good fucking luck, my friend. That's about what I thought would happen. A Flensing Ruin onto the Bloodrack Shrine might honestly finish it off. It's going to get a little side damage onto the Sorceress of Dark, too, as Ikit Claw overcasts onto himself. But still, going to do good damage until the Dark Elf player realizes that those two need to separate. The Harpies are peeled off. Knights of the Ebb and Claw reach the backline, though, along with the Dreadlord. And this could be the beginning of the turning of the tide, possibly. As a Blade Wind routes off a bunch of stuff, she's going to stop the Jezzails from firing. Dread Spears are trying to stop the Rattling Guns from firing, who are firing at the Bolt Fiends, which does not do a lot of damage to the Bolt Fiends. They're not even shielded right now. She's shooting them in the back, so it doesn't. They're not even shielded right now. It just does that little damage. Earlier, when you talked about the White Lions saying, "Oh, they have 30% missile resist," it's not that. I've tried to use Rattling Gunners for many years. They just don't do anything versus infantry. I promise you. All right, Knights of the Ebb and Claw have shut down Ikit Zap Zap. They are also killing off these Doom Players, and the Dark Elves are rallying a little bit, back to even on the balance of power. The Shades are untouched, and the Bolt Fiends are vibing. Meanwhile, the Rattling Guns are getting pushed back. I'm scared. I'm alarmed. I'm frightened. Jezzail's still trying to get away from the Dreadlord. And Jezzail's point blank her ass. Take that. I love it. Anyway, they're trying to shoot her point blank range. Rattling Guns, that one's still on. Where's the other one? The other one's dead. Yeah, it's Gigatoast. What happened to you? Whoa! Whoa, how did Ikit die? Did that Sorceress just beat him up? No, something else beat him up. Okay, Ikit's dead. That is a huge problem. By the way, Ikit is dead? Yeah, Patrick. What got him? Was it the Shades? Did he just walk up to Shades? I wonder. Anyway. Dreadlord is still in here fighting the Jezzails. Rattlings are rather deceptive unit. They work in shotgun range the best, so like blunderbuss. They miss like 80% of shots at arch range. Correct. Night Runners and Rat Ogres trying to deal with this Dreadlord, but the Rat Ogres do rout on their way over there. The Dark Elves are just hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Some of their units are super low, but they're just elite enough to hang in there. Bounce power goes crazy far against the Skaven. And Doomflayers are going to try and intercept the Sorceress of Dark. They fail to do so, and she gets a rear charge on Poison Globes. And if they rout, that might be army losses, because it's your last unit with a lot of ammunition. If it routs, the bounce power might just go too crazy on you. He died to the 2 ranged units, yeah, and then your Sorceress chains him off. I see. Rip in peace for Ikit Claw and Normal Swamp. Ikit Zap Zap did fine. Doomplayer still did absolutely fucking nothing. Rattling Guns, one paid for itself. The other one, not so much. Jezzails also didn't pay for themselves. Rat Ogres did okay. Globes got shut down. Night Runners did okay. Clan Rats did okay. For Sippa. Dreadlord did not do a lot. Bloodrack Shrine did less than nothing. Knights of the Ebb and Claw did okay. So Slaughter did fine. Shades did incredibly well. The Bolt Fiends did very nicely. Dark Sorceress did fine as well. Sisters of Slaughter, Dread Spears, Dark Riders all just did what they had to do, so GG. A bit of a noob and trying to learn a bit of Total War works. Do I still have a lot of question marks on some of the mechanics? For example, how do army losses work? When does it kick in? Army losses kicks in when... It's hard to describe because I understand... I know what I want to say, but I don't know the words for it. If you have 100% of your effective force left, let's just say that. If you have 100% of your effective force left... Sorry, I gotta load up the next matchup. And your opponent has 100% of your effective force left, you're fine. If you get down to 20% of your effective force left and your opponent still has 80, you hit a certain threshold of the percentage of your army that remains compared to your opponent, where the game views the difference as too great and it'll just army loss you to end the game. And army losses is all your unit's leadership goes to absolute 0 and you just lose, right? And I know that was a confusing way of describing, but here's this. So, if both, because that's what I meant by like, it's not the first one to reach 20% of their force, because if both of you are at, if one of you's at like 15% of your original force left and the other one's at 25, you're not going to get army lost, because the difference isn't that great. Like you went from 100 to 100 to 15 to 25. It's not great enough yet. If you're at 1% and your opponent's at 10%, then it'll probably army loss you because he's 10 times greater than you and things like that. So once you get real low, army losses starts to get pretty tricky, that kind of thing. So it's the relative difference. And you might be wondering what the percentage thing is about. Well, if you've noticed in campaign, if you start with 10 Shredders of Lustria and your opponent has 1 Skaven Slave, army losses doesn't kick in. Because it's all about where you started. It's not about the reality of the game. So the Skaven Slave is at 100% power of... The Skaven army is at 100% power because it was always a fucking Skaven Slave. And the Lizardman army is at 100% power because it was always 10 Shredders of Lustria. So it doesn't matter. Now what does matter is if you start the game with 19 Skaven Slaves and a Lord that costs 6,000 gold... If the enemy kills that Lord, the Skaven Slaves will just army loss. You're like, what? I lost 1 out of my 20 units. Yeah, but that 1 unit was like, out of your 100% of your power, it was like 95. So the game thinks you just lost 95% of your army. That's how army losses works. It's why in campaign, if an opponent retreats on the second battle, they're a lot harder to kill because all their units are already so injured that the game treats that is its new benchmark for 100% power when all of its units are already almost dead. So it's... The enemy army just becomes unbreakable. That's why I hate fighting units that just retreated.
All the world depends on Kislev. Fight with pride, my people.
Can it be that I feel like I have more percent of my army left than my opponent, or so I think I still lose the game at army losses? Yes, if the stuff you have left is utter garbage. Anyway, the Kislev build is back. Back better than ever. Do you think that loser's bracket should be added to all tournaments? Segos, I have a loser's bracket for tomorrow's new player tournament. The problem is just time. It takes a longer time to finish tournaments, so you'd have to go to like best of 1. Because best of 3 with the loser's bracket takes forever. I think you can ask Bjorn. Bjorn, I think, played in my loser's bracket best of 3 tournament, and it legitimately, the tournament took 8 hours. It was kind of awful. Yeah. It was giga trash to have a best of 3 losers bracket. Alright, the Lizardman build we saw at the very start. Life Slan and 3 big dinos to heal, including the Thunderous one, the Shredder of Lustria, and the Quaddle. 5 skink cohorts, 3 pterodons up in the sky. On the other side, 4 Kislev, 2 Warbear Riders, 4 Ice Guard, 2 with Glaives, 2 without, and 3 Armored Costers with Katarin. Cool. Archers firing in onto the Quaddle currently, which is an interesting target. I wonder why they're not shooting at the bigger and more obvious stuff. Because the Quaddle's kind of hard to hit. It has some missile resist, but also a really jank-ass body that's hard to get a beat on. The Shredder is much easier to deal damage to. This Ice Guard's getting a ton of damage out of the Pterodons, though. Goddamn, one of them's already about to rout. Other 2 are uncontested. And Katarin is dueling with the Life Slan. I wonder if the Lizards come back and defend the Life Slan. Oh, that's going to be a nasty Ice Shard. Shing! Yeah, almost killed an entire skink. The Thunderous one is back here, though, so Katerin is in trouble. Ice Guard, 2 Ice Guard units are getting mucked up, and the Shredder is just going to pile straight through there and kill a lot of them. And we have a little huddle of Warbears who are very confused about what they're supposed to be doing. Let's huddle up, lads, huddle up. Make a game plan. All right, Fredericks, go around the left. Go around, no, Fredericks go left. But then, what about Tchotchke? Well, Tchotchke can, fuck it, let's just run in this direction. All right, don't know what that was, but it took forever for them to figure it out. Katerin's lost about half her HP. The Pterodons are trying to do stuff. Quaddle is disrupting some of the Ice Guard while the Shredder goes absolutely nuts. The Warbears are busy diving skinks instead of dealing with the Shredder, but the Slon has taken a lot of damage from pistols and Ice Guard. Shredder always lives his best life. Yeah, he does. Warbears need to find a home, and they need to find it quickly. Meanwhile, the Life Slon's getting danger low. He's gonna need some healing. He's gonna need some healing. I hope he has a regrowth, because those Warbears are coming in hot. And by in hot, I mean next to him. They're looking at him. There we go. He's getting a regrowth, and the Warbears have been refocused as Katerin also dives in. So that is a lot of good things for a lot of good people. Shield the old ones plus the regrowth trying to help him out. The Shredder continues to battle off in the distance. Lizardmen are in the lead, but that can be turned around if the Slon actually dies. It's not looking like it, though. It actually looks like Katerin's gonna die. She pops her Bio Blood passive as the Thunderous one beats her ass, then she starts to run away. Slon's healing cap's within sight, and a Death Frost is cast onto him as well as the Bears try and get over there, but they can't get past the Thunderous one or the Pterodon Riders. And those Pterodon Riders are gonna suffer a fate worse than death as they get absolutely chunked out, but I think the sacrifice is worth it to keep the Slon online. Yar. Little lightning bolt coming up from the Quaddle. I don't know if it's even going to hit the Warbears. Looks like it maybe did a little bit. Zarina's Unbreakable wears off, and now the Pterodons are just trying to rout her again. If they can do that, that would be a pretty big boon to their forces. I don't know what Kislev can do at this point, you guys. They're looking too tattered. The Warbears would have to put this entire game on their back, and they're not looking super healthy. That one's 3/4. Where's the other one's card? There you are. Ah, god damn it! They did this stupid thing where they tear her out when Bio Blood pops, and now they're tear outed forever. Why? Why? I hate this bug. So they're just gonna tear her out until Bio Blood wears off. So they're gonna tear her out for 5 more seconds. And this other one's gonna tear her out. No, okay, he actually went unbreakable, which is good, but a little too late. So those Warbears are back. They are returning to the fight. Katerin's super doomed. She's gonna throw out a Frostfang. There are a lot of skinks routing, but man, I don't know what you can do about all these big single entities. Nothing, I guess. Slon takes a lot of damage. Slon's almost dead. Does Katerin charge in and try to finish him off? I don't know. Does it even matter at this point? I also don't think so. I think even if that Slon dies, Thunderous one in the Shredder is super healthy. They're just gonna vibe. More healing for them. And Pterodons are even just shooting at Katerin at this point. Army losses hits, and they're all gone. Guys, this Kislev build, you'll see it again. And again, and again. So I love Humbo casting matches going on, but who cares? Hey! Variety is the spice of life, my friend. Alright, the Bears, oof. Actually really bad value on the Bears. Katerin struggled a bit. Ice Guard, mixed value. Armored Cossar struggled too. For Segos, Shredder, 2,600. Thunderous one, 2,100. Pterodons did fine. Skinks did okay. GG. GG. Okay. So now we go back to the bracket. And what does it look like for you guys? Okay, so I can move. No, 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 no. All right, move this. Okay, okay. So now we're that far. So Normal Swamp and Rainy Frog are out. Longboy is out. These 4 are the ones that remain. Raced and Bjorn are in the upper brackets. They still have they can lose and come down here. And Sippa and Segos are fighting for their absolute last chance on the bottom here. Raced versus Bjorn. Hiles versus Tomb Kings. Okay, cool, cool. So then I want that to go down first and that to go down there. All right, Grievin appreciates the role playing. Why am I still getting pinged? Stop pinging me. Blockers down, blockers down. We have not seen as much of this Tomb King's build because it got a bye round in the first round. But it's the 5 Snake Knights plus the Snake Lady plus a Snake Caster with a bunch of Snake Archers and a front line of Snaketon Warriors. It's a Snake Army. It's full of snakes. Will they shed their losing streak like they shed their skin? Or will they bite off more than they can swallow whole? Because snakes don't chew. Snake references! Alright. On the other side, we have 2 Lyran Reavers, the Dragon Princes, Imric, a Mage of Life, 5 White Lions of Crace, and 3 Archers. Will the White Lions roar, or will the snakes slither their way to a succulent success? Snake references! Okay. Did the Tomb King's build make it to the finals? I don't know, man. We're gonna find out. Why does my stream keep falling behind me? All right, snakes are advancing. We're all done with the shitty jokes. There's no more shitty jokes to be had here. As the Fireborn blaze their way into an ignited charge with fiery passion. I'm done. Where am I? I'll never be done! Anyway. Wow, that was actually a good charge. Necropolis Knights actually did good damage. No memes. No memes, just dreams. More Necropolis Knights with halberds are trying to get onto the Fireborn, but they will not find them. They will instead find the White Lions, and the Venom Staff just pokes some archers in the face. And wait a second! Rainy Frog, you son of a bitch! No. No, we're stopping. We're stopping. We're stopping. Oh, hey, Human Boy's channel. Snake Lady Goes Burr for once. This was released yesterday. Oh, this was released yesterday? This was released yesterday? Well, it couldn't possibly be a snake build versus High Elves with a dragon and dragon princes and Illyrian Reavers on, what map is it? This exact map? So I have to cast Dragon High Elves versus Snake Tomb Kings on this map again that I just released on the channel 2 days ago? You know what the YouTube algorithm hates? When you do the same fucking thing over and over again! Rainy Frog is sabotaging my content. How dare you? Let's see how this one goes. Hold on. I want to see what these... Okay, so Khalida ends up alone. She's fighting the dragon. She fights with some tomb stuff, and... Okay, so the High Elves end up winning, but it was close, and Khalida couldn't quite beat the dragon. Is that exactly what's gonna happen here? Let's find out. All right, Khalida, it needs to come down to you versus Imric, and Imric needs to beat your ass. Okay, Imric gets down a nice breath attack onto the Necropolis Knights. Skeleton Warriors not feeling so hot. Archers in the back also not doing the best as the snakes get closer and closer. The Fireborn are bouncing back and forth trying to save this area. Meanwhile, we get Jaff's incantation of wiggly blades. It doesn't look like curse blades, it just looks like wiggly blades. Like they have those pool noodles. Next time you see that spell cast, think about it. Just think about pool noodles and you'll see what I see every time I see that goddamn spell. It's really funny to me. Anyway, the sneaky snakes are pushing off the Lyran Reavers, trying to keep Jaff's, the Blessed Legion of Flach online. I brought you back to the game, right? Yes, I did. Sweet. White Lions are already routing. The Fireborn are getting a regrowth, trying to keep them in this fight, but actually they're taking damage about as fast as they're getting regrowth, which is a bad sign. And this is too many snakes. Imric might have to get out of here. Archers are raining a glorious hellfire upon this blob, though. As you can see, all 3 of the snakes taking a lot of damage, and the Illyrian Reavers, White Lions, just trying to pen them in while the archers do their good work. Imric's not taking as much damage because, unlike last time we saw Imric, his life mage didn't die instantaneously, so he can actually still just do stuff. He can get out of here. He can get regrowth later on. He'll be fine. The White Lions catch the Blessed Legion of Flach, and then they say, you know what? Fuck it. We have better things to be doing, and they just leave them there. No one cares about these guys as the Lyran Reavers charge them from behind. We have the Unholy Snake Pit. A snake blob, as it were. I wonder how that goes for them. Is the last healthy snicky snake? No, there's 2. One of the 2 healthy snicky snakes chases down some archers, tries to get rid of them. But Imric's vibing. He's chilling. He's surviving. If Stalkers last longer, Snicks could win this time. No. I refuse. Venom Staff does a little bit of damage. Just a little bit. I don't know why it cast twice. That was a little weird looking. But sure. Necropolis Knights somehow losing this grind fight with the Dragon Princes. Even though the Dragon Princes are the ones that are supposed to need their charge. That's fine. I mean, there's a shit ton of White Lions. I understand that. But still, the Snakes are doing, like, negative nothing damage. Indiana Jones snakes! I hate snakes. I actually don't mind snakes. Quick breath attack from Imric does equal amounts of damage to the Fireborn as the sneaky snakes. This time the Ushabti are out nice and early because the Skeleton Warriors are actually dying, which allows the Ushabti to come out. Don't know what they're hoping to accomplish, but man, they're hoping to accomplish it. Dragonhorn gives the entire High Elf army some buffs as Imric dives back in. I need a lot more High Elves to die very quickly, otherwise we're not going to have a repeat of what was on my channel, because so far there's too many High Elves still alive. So it needs to come down to like Khalida versus pretty much Imric. It's looking spoopy. The Dragonborn have just sat in this blob fight and they've been fine. Okay. It is a repeat of my content in that the Dragon Lord High Elves beat the Tomb Kings with snakes on this map, but it is not a repeat in the exact fashion it went down because this is a little more one-sided. Finals is a best of 3? Yes. Yeah. Ushabti chasing off some archers, but once that Ushabti summon fades in 29 seconds, yeah, okay. Army loss is hitting now, but I was going to say without them, Army loss is definitely hit. Khalida gets taken down by a dragon yet again. And Rainy Frog can explain how the finals works. If he wants to. High Elves win again. And there was much rejoicing. Snake Lady did okay. Other snakes did not do okay. Archers did fine. Scalies did fine. For Bjorn, Imric did well. The Fireborn just dove straight into melee combat and then stayed there and got 2,600 value. Wild. White Lions did well. Archers did fine. Illyrian Reavers also just ran around and did things. GG. Now let's get that back up and get that back up and then go to the bracket so you can all see the bracket. That'll mean Bjorn moves on to the finals. Raced drops down to the losers finals. So I need to clean up some of these replays. That is that one. I just cast that one. That is that one. We already cast that one. This is Sippa versus Segos. Correct. Yes? Correct. Yes? Correct. All right, let's get it. Which of these two will stay in the tournament? Which of these 50 will fall? I want to see Nurgle run over Tomb Kings called Plagues of Egypt. Too bad Nurgle sucks and my game crashed. Let's see if that replay is bugged. Any Norska? Nope. You've seen all the builds that will be used, I believe. Unless the finals is different. And let's see if the replay is just broken. If I crash at the same time, then it usually means someone's using a mod. Come on. Get through it. Yes! We're in. Cool. Alright. You've seen all these builds a million times before. We have 4 Ice Guard, 2 with Glaives, 2 without. You have 3 Armored Kossars. You have 2 Warbear Riders. You have the Tsarina Katerin with Death Frost and the Whooshy Whoosh Ice Maiden's Kiss. We have Ikit Zap Zap, 2 Rattling Guns on the other side with Doom Flayers, 2 Poison Wind Globes, a Natty Booba Sharpshooter somewhere, not an Ambubos. It's a regular Warpbox sale. 2 Rat Ogres, whole bunch of Skaven Slaves, Klein Rats, some with Spears, some with that. We have 2 Night Runners and Ikit Claw on. He's supposed to be on his Doom Wheel, but all the Ikit Claw players keep changing the items they bring. I'm mad about it. I actually don't know if you're allowed to change the items or not. I have no idea. I kind of assumed you were supposed to take the same items. But shit happens. Alright. You can do that, it's in the rules? Alright, sick. They can change their items, I guess. Though I still am gonna call them a cheater, just because. I think the Skaven got this. They're very well set up to deal with all this shit. But if Frostfang is gonna catch these Night Runners, it just tickles them a little bit. Wasn't told she'd be on the Doom Wheel. It seems like Rainy Frog said it's fine. Yeah. A little bit of kiting. I mean, Skaven just want to sit here and shoot at you. So the Jezzails are firing. Ikit Zap Zap is trying to move. Skaven are moving around this farmhouse for some reason. As Kislev just eats the damage. Ice Guard trying to fire out of these trees, but they're taking a little bit of poke. That, good sir, is my build? Well, you cheated, despite the fact that the tournament host and the rules say you didn't cheat. I say you did. So take that. So take that. Okay. Warbear Riders running up to deal with these Night Runners. Night Runners are going to have a bad time. But I wonder, the Rattling Guns are moving up to counterfire. And another Flensing Ruin cast onto the Warbears. Please stop doing that! It doesn't do any damage. Please. Only cast that spell on single entities, I swear to God. Anyway. Rattling Guns are getting out a decent little bit of poke. There's no Patriarch on this roster or anything, so no healing. Globes get a quick little volley off, and those bears taking a bunch of damage. Ikit Zap Zap also firing in. Poor little bears, go! Go, little bears, go! Run! Run! Yeah. 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 Even though I'm casting replays they've already done. Let's change everything now. So the Skaven are, like, still just getting tons of damage out onto the Kislevites. Like, this is looking so bad. Looking so bad for Kislev right now. They're just trying to move up a little bit. They're firing out of these trees, but I don't know what their end game is. Ikit Zap Zap is, like, not gonna run out of ammunition, man. It's just not. I think the Tsarina, yeah, she is casting Death Frosts onto Ikit, which is good, but ooh, she had to overcast to get the range, which just does damage back to her. And this is an attrition fight, because neither of them have healing. I'm gonna play it on ×2 speed till something happens. But for now, it's just Kislevites getting shot. What up, Blake's Takes? Rattling Guns firing onto the Tsarina a little bit as she tries to deal damage back to them. Cleansing Ruin latches onto her, and Ikit Zap Zap is trying to punish her, but the Warbears ride up, and Armored Kossars and the Ice Guard are able to take out that Rattling Gun, so good trade there for Kislev. But yeah, Tsarina's getting real low, and she can't afford to overcast more Death Frost onto Ikit, otherwise the overcast damage might just outright kill her. Back to ×2 speed. Ice Guard firing into Clan Rat Spears once more. Warbear Riders trying to get a little bit of damage here. Rat Ogre's countercharge. And Globes will throw into the Armored Kossars. Plus, with Ikit Claw's little Brass Orb, they do a lot of damage. Ikit Zap Zap firing into the trees. Ice Guard should be able to defend themselves. This is weird. A large host of the Skaven army is going to run over and try to deal with these two Ice Guard. I don't know why the Rattling Guns are coming if they're just fighting infantry. Because the other Rattling Gun was routed. So that could be open for the Warbears, but the Warbears are all dead. Like, they just all died. They didn't even break. They died while their Buyer Blood passive was on, so it's just a pile of dead bears. Balance power is horrendously Skaven favored, as the battle in the trees goes very poorly for Kislev, as Poison Globes are just nuking all of their own troops. But these two, the Armored Kossar and the Ice Guard, are worth more than everything in here for the Skavens. The Globes are like, fuck it, send it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a frig. I don't give a single frig about what's happening over there. It can zap zap, don't know what you're firing at, but anything is fine. Kislev is falling dangerously behind on the balance of power. Big shots into these infantry. Owie owie, should have picked Dowie, and Ikit is rolling up. I think with one more Flensing Ruin, this game is done. And he is heading roughly in the direction of the Tsarina. Never mind, he's going back. Never mind, he's going in. Never mind, he's going back. Never mind, he's going in. Never mind, he's going back. Giselle's continuing to fire. Kislev is giga-doomed. I think army losses is going to happen any second here. Boom! There it is! A Death Frost for a Flensing Ruin. She dies, and we are now just waiting for Blood to wear off. Kislev falls for the final time. We will no longer see them in this tournament unless their loser has to take them, in which case we'll see them next game. Ikka Claw, 2,500 value, 1,600 on the Zap Zap. You can't take a prolonged shooting engagement with the Skaven. You're not going to win it, unfortunately, for Dr. Segos. Rat Ogres, Night Runners did okay. Yeah. Armored Kossars aren't that bad. I enjoy Armored Kossars. The Bears just got wrecked. Ice Guard did eh. Zarina did eh. Armored Kossars got murdered. Oh, hush. Landlord come? Okay, well. I kept her in here with me because I didn't know when he was going to come.
How long of this stream do you have?
35 seconds?
Oh.
I don't know.
Is it actually?
No.
Oh.
I have 4 more games to cast, so about 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
20 to 30.
Okay.
They're not live, they're replays, and that goes a lot faster.
I figure just pizza. Start the oven.
Oh, it is 6, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm really hungry too.
Okay, we can do that.
Okay, I'll get that started.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Don't look in the freezer, there's a surprise for you.
Well, I have to get the pizza.
Chad, I gotta go get a pizza. You're not allowed to look in the freezer! This is a surprise! This is a surprise! Don't look in the freezer! Don't! Just don't do it! God. Ruining surprises. Alright, what are we doing? What's happening? What's going on? Okay, so we did that. See, I can move the blocker a little bit more. Oh, wait. No, we didn't do that. Okay, alright. Spoilers. Spoilers. It's Sippa versus Raced. Sippa versus Raced. So then... Yes. I fucked it up. I fucked up the blocker. What's in the freezer? I got her ice cream, but like from a restaurant, and it's nice. And we're gonna have ice cream. I got a coupon when I last gave blood, but the ice cream parlor in question is all the way across town, so we don't go there very often. But today I went all the way across town and got us some special ice cream. But you revealed who wins? I did, accidentally. Alright. Can this Kislev build fucking win a game? Has the 4 Ice Guard, 2 with swords, 2 with glaives, 2 Warbear Riders, 3 Armored Kossars, and the Tsarina Katerin herself face off against the High Elves. 5 White Lions of Christ, 3 Archers with light armor, 1 Fireborn, 2 Illyrian Reavers, a Mage of Life, and Imric. This map blows? Your map blows. They say romance is dead. I'm romantic AF. Sorry, I got a thing. Alright, I've saved all the repos I need. This Kislev build has won 1 game so far? No, it hasn't. Liar. What are we doing? What's around me? What's happening? Archers are firing in onto the armored Kossars. Probably want to switch onto the Ice Guard as soon as possible. Ice Guard and Kossars going to do what damage they can to the High Elves on their way in. Pistol's going to cut these guys down as Imric gets a nasty breath attack down the line. Oh my god, it's so much damage! And then it's not. And then there's an Awakening. You brought Awakening of the Wood, you absolute madman. I hate that spell. I am the world's biggest Awakening of the Wood hater, and people keep bringing it, and I don't know why. Alright, Ice Guard are getting outshot by basic archers, and that's a real thing that's happening in front of your very eyes. Meanwhile, armored Kossars are plowed into by the White Lions, who are going to cut through them pretty easily. Ice Guard just getting mowed down in their thousands. Blood spurting up out of the ground, and Imric thinks about landing, then he just decides against it. He's like, you know what, I don't want to land in the middle of Warbears. That seems like a really fucking bad idea. And it is, don't do that. So he doesn't. Warbears plow into some Illyrian Reavers. They should eat through those guys super quickly, while the other Warbears are beset by armor-piercing infantry and the Fireborn and Imric, and their Lord of Dragons brings their melee attack down to 7 and their melee defense down to 11, which is real bad. On the other side of the field, Zarina and her bears push off some Illyrian Reavers, and they say, we did it! We did it! As the last of the Ice Guards are losing their little archer battle. Oh, run away! And they will run soon. Another Awakening of the bad spell, as White Lions try and disrupt this backfield along with Illyrian Reavers, while Warbears come sweeping over to do something about it. Kislevite Bears at 1,000 HP, down to 500 in the blink of an eye, down to almost dead in the blink of an eye, and they still have 10 seconds left of being unbreakable, which means they are going to fight to the very end, which is coming so swiftly. They see the darkness, and then they see the light. They're going through a tunnel to a farm upstate, and dead as fuck. All right. These other Warbears are going to run up and deal with Imric. Meanwhile, Zarina will get away. Ice Guard trying to find a place to fire onto the Fireborn. But man, that bounce power is looking real crisp if you're a High Elves fan. 3 armor Kossars are doing their best to hold the line, but they just can't, as these Ice Guard are now beset by basic archers. No! And basic light cavalry. It's almost like an elite archer without a shield, missile resist, or armor is just doomed. 50 armor and no shield and a pretty middling range. How could this happen? Warbear Riders are surrounding Imric, doing good damage to him, while the Ice Guard continue to do some fighting. But man, there's just nothing left for Kislev here. So did Khorne win? There's no Khorne. Weren't we supposed to see Kislev for last time? Nope, because the person who wins takes the loser's builds. You saw Skaven for the last time. Ice Guard get run over by these Illyrian Reavers. And army losses is coming in hot. Another Awakening of the bad spell. As Imric has just been sitting in these Warbears, and he has been taking damage, but I imagine he can have healing whenever he really needs it. Zarina dives some archers. She's doing it. She's going ham. As her Buyer Blood passive has not popped yet, which means it has not been army losses just yet, which I'm kind of surprised it hasn't been army losses just yet. There it is. The army losses! I'm going to play at ×3 speed because I can predict what happens. As soon as that Buyer Blood wears off, the game ends. Calling it. Give this man a gold medal. He can see the future. All right, have they entered the result yet? No. So the finals is Bjorn versus Raced. The finals is best of 3. And Frog, if you're still here, can you give us a blurb on how the finals pick and ban works? That would be nice. You saw Skaven for the last time. Like, obviously, I'll play them in a different stream. But for this stream, yeah, you're probably done. For Sippa, the Warbears did okay. The Ice Guard did not do okay. They did real bad. I've actually been unironically enjoying Ice Guard with Glaives a little bit. Ice Guard with Sword and Board are just not... Sorry, dual swords. They don't even have a board. They're just too sad. But Glaives, like, versus certain factions, like Khorne and Nurgle, actually do kind of okay. Alright, let's do it. It's finals time. Bjorn versus Race. Can the Sneaky Snakes defeat Kislev? Or will Kislev win, I guess? I don't know. First game is like previous round. Second game, you play your opponent's previous builds. You just swap the builds. Okay, and then what happens game 3? You play your original build that you started the tournament with? So the only way you could get a 2-0 is if, like, Kislev wins this twice. Gotcha. All right, Kislev. Let's see what you got. If you need a reminder of this build, I think you have memory problems. There's 2 Ice Guard with glaives, 2 Ice Guard with swords, 2 bears, 3 armored Kossars, and the Tsarina on a bear. On the other side, it's the sneaky snake thing. There's so many snakes. Can they shed their skin to secure a success in this scrap? I haven't made that joke before. There's 5 Necropolis Knights, 3 with halberds, 2 without. Or 3 without, 2 with halberds. It's 3 without, 2 with halberds. We have the Blessed Legion of Flach. 3 Skeleton Warriors, High Queen Kalita, and the Lich Priest of Nehekara. What up, Knighthood? How you doing? Who could win this one? Who could possibly claim victory here? We actually saw this matchup earlier in the tournament. Kislev versus the Snake build. Dun 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 dun. Can Armored Kossar with a pitiful 50 armor due to the Sundering hold against Skeleton Warriors? I mean, shooting them in the face is a pretty good start. So what are the Ice Guard doing? Shooting at snakes? How much damage do they do? Show me the damage. Show me that damage. Show me that sick damage. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for you guys to fire your first volley. Human Boy, they did fire their first volley. I refuse to believe that is real. As a Skull Storm comes out and does way more damage than the Ice Guard did, which is a thing, that is a real sentence, and it's true. Okay, so Skull Storm, a spell nobody takes, is doing more damage at range than these Ice Guard. That's cool. That's sick. It's mega dank. Warbear Riders are going to get sandwiched between 2 sneaky snakes, as the Lich Priest and Kalita are also fighting alongside some sneaky snakes against the bears. But man, those snakes are not having a good time, as Frostblades are popped onto the Warbear Riders to give them some magic damage and better stats. Not like they needed the better stats. Look at these guys just get murdered. God damn, sneaky snakes. God damn. Okay, cool. Cool. So what's happening? What's going on? Necro Knights, out of the 5, how are we doing? 3 are almost dead, 2 are full health-ish. Skeleton Warriors, out of the 3 that started the game, 3 are still around. Blessed Legion of Flach are just back there doing their absolute best. And for Kislev, I guess the bears are getting whittled down. I suppose that is a true thing that's happening. As the bears surrounded 1v2 the Necropolis Knights, who cost about the same as the Warbear Riders, might I add, and they're losing so badly. Holy shit. Like, that is the thing you have to remember. You might be like, oh, Warbear Riders are anti-large, armor-piercing, monstrous cavalry. So, of course, they'd beat anti-large, armor-piercing, monstrous cavalry of around the same cost. Yeah, they're 2v1ing things that cost about the same as them. It's insane. Necro Knights are so bad. What's dealing more damage, Ice Guard or Crumbling? Crumbling, for sure. Another Skull Storm, let's see it. Oh, the damage. Oh, the damage. All right, solid. Necro Knight's getting real low. So are the Warbears. One of them broke, the other one broke. There are no more Warbears left. It's just Katarine doing her best. Lich Priest from Nehekara is taking a lot of damage. The Skullstorm's going absolutely nuts in the backfield. Comes back for a second round of these armored Kossars, pushing them away. And the bounce power's up for Kislev. I am a little spooked. A little spooked for Kislev now that both their bears are routing. I'll be honest. I'm a little scared. Blessed Legion of Flach are gone. 2 of the 3 Skeleton Warriors are gone. The Lich Priest of Nehekara was almost death frosted. But then she thought better of it and decided not to. Oh, he was actually just casting a spell on himself. What a Chad. Okay, how are we doing? 3 Necro Knights, 2 of which are almost dead, 1 of which is pretty much dead, which is about all the diversity and health bars we're going to get in this game. And the late game Tomb King's Ushapti summon. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ushapti summon might turn this game around. We've actually seen Kislev win this battle previously, And if the Tomb Kings win it here, then these two exact builds are 1-1 against each other. Necropolis Knights crumbling away next to their Lich Priest friend. The last healthy Skeleton Warrior continues to do battle. But the Ice Guard, I think there's just too many Ice Guard. And that's not a sentence I get to say very often, but I think there's too many Ice Guard to really, for the Tomb Kings to grind this out. Also, is this serious? One Warbear Rider rallied with 49 HP. Okay, that's the world we live in now. Once the Ushabti summon is gone, I think the Tomb King's hopes are going to falter quite a lot. Ice Guard with glaives and the Ice Guard with swords firing at the Necropolis Knights, one of which is just about dead. The Lich Priest is even crumbling. Without him, you lose your caster, you lose your healing. It might be over unless the Tomb Kings go for a brutal snipe attempt onto the Tsarina, which is actually occurring right now. They fucking got it. They got it. They got it. Kill her. If they kill her, then those Warbears won't keep rallying, because without their lord, there's no shot they come back. Hold on. Oh, we have 489 health and 3 leadership. I have 49 health and 3 leadership. I do think damage sustained shouldn't scale by breakpoints. It should scale by, like, actual, like, you know, per tick of damage, it'll go down a little bit, you know? Not like, at an arbitrary point, you lose a massive amount of leadership. Anyway, Khalida is chasing down the Tsarina, wants to get her dead for real, as the last Necropolis Knight is fading away. Caster is officially dead. Skeleton Warrior is trying to disrupt as much of the archers as possible as all the archers turn onto Khalida. Khalida is chasing through the Tsarina. And they're walking side by side. And they're walking side by side, hand in hand, off the map we go. Hand in hand. By my side forever, my constant companion. Oh fuck, she swung at him! Her, they're both hers. Alright, Katerin is going. She gets off one spiteful Death Frost before routing. Now the bears are all gone. The Lord is dead, leadership debuff does strike, but Khalida takes a shit ton of damage from being surrounded by gold, triple gold chevroned halberds. She's not enjoying that whatsoever. She is getting ground down, and there are more Ice Guards shooting at her big dumb face. And they are together, even in death, wherever the Tsarina was. I think that was her bear. It might have been. There's a lot of dead bears in this desert. The headline could read, there was an epic battle between Kislev and the Tomb Kings. An alternate headline could be, very unsurprising, 32 ice bears left alone in desert all died. Just saying, it's an alternate headline and it's equally true. All right. Warbear Riders did very well. Tsarina did well. Ice Guard with glaives, triple gold chevron did fantastically. The Ice Guards with swords continue to suck ass. And the Armor Costers did fine. For Bjorn, Khalida did well. Lich Priest did well. Halberd Necro Knights and Necro Knights just about paid for themselves. Blessed Legion of Flach did well, and the Skeleton Warriors did fine. How much are rank 9 Ice Guard again? A lot. They're a lot. Alright, game 2, switch sides. So if you want this to be a 3-game finals, you're rooting for the Tomb Kings to lose again. You want the Tomb Kings to lose, as now Raced is piloting them. And if you're wondering why I even bothered with the blocker, I put the blocker up so you can't tell if this is the last game or if there's one more. Hello?
Hi. Hello?
Hello.
I have locked myself out again.
You locked yourself out again?
Yeah.
Stop it!
I came up to sit with the stinky and I didn't realize I had locked the door.
Stop locking the door!
I'm sorry. It's a habit.
It's a habit. I had to come home from work to get you out.
Okay, keep calling locking.
I'm coming!
Thank you.
I'm doing things! damn it. Alright, I'm back. I'm back. Alright, Tomb Kings. Let's go through the builds. There's 50 million snakes, including those snakes. There's some Sea Ocean Warriors, and there's more snakes. There's also a bunch of Ice Guard and some snakes, and there's also 2 bear snakes in the background. Alright, okay, we got into the fight. One of the snakes charged straight in. The snake is dying a lot. If you want a game 3, you're rooting for the snakes. If you want a game 2 or a 4, you're rooting for the cold snakes. The snake riders are fighting the snake bear riders, and the snake riders are losing to the snake bears. Now, the snake bowmen are actually doing pretty well, but the snake pistols are struggling. That is an entire Necropolis snake rider dead. That is 1,500 gold lost instantaneously. Now, Tsarina Katerin, interestingly, not on a snake. She is, in fact, on a horsey horse. Tsarina on her horsey horse is running around thinking that she gets to make a difference when she does not, but the snake staff of Snake Lady fires some snake projectiles into the Ice Guard with snakes, and they have taken some serious damage. Now, the Warbear Riders are up here. They are doing great. They are doing fantastically, even though Usarian's incantation of snakes is doing some good damage to them. The Snake Warriors just really can't hold out. We have lost 1 snake. We have lost 2 snakes. Do I see 3 snakes? I do see 3 snakes, but will they die as Katerin's getting away on her horsey horse? It's just a buff horsey horse. She has thrown the ice sheet down to slow everybody in this area. More snakes are dying in the front line. The Blessed Legion of Flach are down in the Snake River bed. That is what that riverbed is called. I am a giga genius. I'm not having a stroke. You're having a stroke. Is chat mad at me? Only Frog can make those rolls a best of 3. It's true. Venom Staff is going to hit some Ice Guard with glaives. Please stop with snakes. No! There's too many! There's too many! Anyway, Kalita is trying to chase around Tsarina Katerin. She can't catch her. Is Katerin faster? Katerin on the bear is faster than Kalita because of the frostbite. Oh yeah, when the Ice Guard shoot anything, they slow down. God damn. Alright. More Ice Guard firing in. And this is looking like a shellacking. I don't have a lot of analysis here. The Necropolis Knights charged the front line. They couldn't get through it. The Bears just countercharged them, and then there was a conclave of fire from the Ice Guard that kind of wrecked everybody's shit. And now the shoe is on the other foot. Kalita's trying to get away from Katerin, which is strange, but it's happening. As some pistols and stuff are trying to poke her down, but yeah, that's gonna be a quick Tomb King's L. And the bear build will win once again. What up, Tien? Streams have been mostly when I'm at work. Dude, I stream night and day. I switch it up. That is a lie. That's a lie, sir. You just don't like us anymore, but you don't want to admit it, which is fine. Patrick, your Kislev build wins again? Yeah, it does. It's looking like a Blessed Legion of flacking. Alright. I'm not even gonna go through the values because y'all know what it is. Game 3. So they have to go with... So this is it. For the whole tournament, this is the last one. They had to go with the original build of their opponent. So Bjorn's dinosaur healing blob thing versus Raced's Dark Elves with a lot of elite units. Now the players did message me and they forgot what the original Lizardman build was. So there's a triple gold chevron Carnosaur instead of the Quaddle. But they both agreed that it was fine and this is mostly a fun tournament, so yeah. Hey, Oddfire Potato, how you doing, man? How you doing? Alright. So, you've seen this all before, though it has been a little bit. We have 5 skink cohorts. We have the Ancient Stega. Wait, oh shit. Okay, they made another mistake. So, there's no Shredder of Lustria, and there's no Quaddle. There's a triple gold chevron Feral Carnosaur, and there's an Engine of the Gods Ancient Stegodon. Gotcha. There's a Thunderous one and a Life Slon. 3 Pterodons, 5 skinks. Gotcha. On the other side, there are 4 Dread Spears, Sister of Slaughter, Shade Dual Weapons, the Bolt Fiend's Dark Shard ROR, 1 Witch Elf, 2 Dark Riders, Knights the Eboclaw ROR, a single Harpy, I forget if I said that or not, a Dark Caster, a Dread Lord Sword and Shield, and then a Blood Ragshrine. It was in the rules if you don't have the DLC units, you have the closest same category, that's why I took that. Race doesn't have the DLC? Why? Why? I think Blake's takes is just having fun. Alright. Just FYI. I don't think your tournament's actually ruined. I think he's just playing along with the joke. Alright. Yeah. Race didn't tell me that he didn't have the DLC though. He just said there was some shenanigans with the builds, but we both said it was fine. What's happening? What's actually going on here? The Pterodons are trying to kite around a little bit, and they're getting shot by shades while they do so. Another Awakening of the Wood cast while the Bloodrack Shrine pokes them off as well. Nearly time for Bedtime, the sequel. Dude, we're so close to the end. You gotta finish it out, Fly Spray. Hope Bjorn wins, but I have the feeling the Lizards will win. Oh, we'll see. Earthblood onto the Pterodons tries to save them, but it's not enough, and the Harpies are going to crash into their sides, doing really good damage to them in melee. They won't even be able to finish off the Shades. They're trying to get in range for the Rock Drop. They're trying. The Rock Drop on the far side did hit the Bolt Fiends quite heavily, though. Damn, son. And the Harpies are actually not able to finish off the Pterodons. They get away. Oof ba-boof. While the Bolt Fiends are trying to fire straight up into those Pterodon Riders, it's not going super well for them. Dark Elves are advancing a little bit. Shade's getting free shots onto the Ancient Stegodon, Engine of the Gods, taking a quarter of his HP off. Bloodrack Shrine continues to fight. Oh, hey! There was a Cav engagement. Knights of the Ebon Claw and Dark Riders did some stuff. They're killing skinks. Yay, skinks! Don't tell Milo. Yeah. I want this Carnosaur to do well. As the Engine of the Gods tries to predict the spears, but that thing has way too long of a cast time to try to predict shit. And the Carnosaur finds the Bloodrack Shrine, and he misses his charge. Or he's just doing so insignificant damage I can't see it. Okay, it's pretty insignificant. I see. Carnosaur is trying to tear it apart. Meanwhile, the Dark Elves are coming in here, so actually this Carnosaur is going to be in danger very, very soon. Skink Horde is rampaging due to the Witch Elves, and a Soul Stealer hits 2 of the big 3 single entities. Meanwhile, the Thunderous one has routed some stuff over here, and he is chasing the Bolt Fiends. Things are looking rather Dark Elf favored at the moment, as the Feral Carnosaur continues to try and push through the tiny Velociraptors. It's like the ending of Jurassic Park 1, you know, when they're in the convention center, and then the big banner falls down as the T-Rex bodies a bunch of Velociraptors, except it's not 3v1, it's 48v1, and these Velociraptors have gold chevron stats, and, you know, it's a different movie. Has the Engine of the Gods ever hit their target with its insane cast time? Yeah, Anti-Kaiju brought it in the finals of a new player tournament and roasted some Skeleton Spearmen. It was dank. Not right now in multiplayer? Yeah, most of the time, but I remember a time. I remember when Anti-Kaiju did it. You all may forget Anti-Kaiju, but I won't. Never. Anyway, Feral Carnosaur is leading the pack. He has done the thing from Jurassic World where he's convinced all the Velociraptors that they're in his pack now, and they're all working together. So together they're hunting down this Bloodrack Shrine. The Bloodrack Shrine is running for its life from the giant horde of dinosaurs, all soul bent on its destruction. Oh my god. Chat. What is that on top of the... What's that on top of the shrine? I thought we were done. I thought we were out. Chat was getting sick of me saying snakes, but there's a fucking snake lady on that thing. It's not my fault. She's in the game. There's too many snakes. Anyway, now that the giant horde of dinosaurs, who are all definitely on the same team, have caught the Bloodrack Shrine, it's only a matter of time before that thing dies. Meanwhile, the Life Salon gets his ass absolutely handed to him by the Dreadlord, and the Witch Elves rampaging him while he's stuck in that fight once again. Soul Stealer hits 2 of the big dinos, and the Ancient Stegodon, Engine of the Gods, has another cast, I believe? Yeah, it does have another cast. We'll see if he gets it off, and we'll see if Bjorn and the Dark Elves are not paying attention. The Velociraptors. Oh my god! That snake lady is Chris Pratt! And she reminded the Velociraptors of their love that they shared for like the first 3 minutes of the movie, and everything else other than that has just been Chris Pratt telling the Velociraptors what to do, and they go, we're sorry, we betrayed you for a hot second. We'll go back to killing the big scary thing now. Snake Lady, Chris Pratt, confirmed. Pterodon Riders getting pushed off by the Blood Rock Shrine. Balance of power has shifted significantly away from the Dino Men, and they are fighting a valiant last attempt. Where's that second Enter the Gods cast? You gotta do it. The game's getting away from you. You gotta do it. Everything near them is routing, so I don't think they'll waste a cast on that. I think they gotta run over to those Witch Elves and then hope that that works out for them. Meanwhile, the Feral Carnosaur is running away from all the Velociraptors. And these two dinos are walking into the bar like you would. And Chris Pratt's just gonna dino them right in the face. He's done 4 Jurassic Park movies by now. He knows how to handle dinosaurs. Just look him dead in the eyes and say no. Okay, he got a little stabbed there, but looking him in the eyes and say no. And then they run away and you win. Chris Pratt knows how to handle dinosaurs. I don't know how many really, really terrible movies you need to establish this. Oh, dinosaurs charging Chris Pratt. Is it gonna kill him? Fucking no! Because there wouldn't be any more movies! Learn the meta. Alright, Life Salon. Wow, 1400 value on the Life Salon. God damn. Ancient Stegodon with the engine. No, that's Thunderous One. Thunderous One got about as much damage value as the Salon, so pretty fine. Enter the Gods got under 500. Feral Carnosaur 700, so a little bit of a struggle there. Pterodons did okay. Skink got murdered. Worth staying up past midnight for this? Hell yeah, dude. Nice Clawga did good. Shades did good. Bolt Fiends did good. Witch Elves did really well, actually, too. Alright, nothing else matters. GG, everybody. GG. We have a lot of events coming up soon. I have a stream tomorrow, the new player tournament at night. Then Friday, we have Umbrella's Friday Night Fights. And then Sunday, we have Eldrin's tournament. And then next week, at some point, I'm probably going to cast the Faction Face-Off if those people get their games done. Like bastards. I also have an event thingy that's currently running that we are 1 game away from finishing that I'll also cast when it's done. If Strat Game or Black Knight ever get their shit together and go fight Blood Penguin, that would be hype. So we have those things. I would also like to actually play this game once in a while and cast that, so that would be cool. Friday Night Fights Finals is on the 30th, so that would be cool. It's just streams. It's just always streams of tournaments and everything, and I never get to play, because God forbid I play. No. It's host this new player tournament, Human Boy. Cast this tournament, mine, Human Boy. Do this thing for me, Human Boy. What's anybody done for me? Ever. Nothing. Nobody's ever done anything for me. They've never clicked the subscribe button. They never joined our Patreon. They never talk to us in Discord. They never play in our events. They never give us super chats on stream and give us money. Nothing. I get nothing back from this community. And I give you everything. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Goodbye. I give you money. Yeah, lime sauce, I know. I was being sarcastic. I love you all. Y'all do great.